So after we have worked on arc length and sector area to find the length and the area, we now can take those formulas and we can work backwards. So this first example, we are working to find the angle. Now, you can see we have our sector, we have a radius, our angle is missing, and we also are given our arc length. Our arc length is 25 centimeters. So we want to use the arc length formula to work backwards to find the angle. So let's imagine our formula. We know it's the circumference multiplied by your fraction, which is your angle over 360. I'm going to substitute in what I know. So I know my arc length was 25, so I replaced arc with 25. Pi is still pi. My diameter is 18. Now how did I get 18? Well, I know my radius was 9, so if I double my radius to go all the way across, 9 plus 9 is 18. So my diameter becomes 18, and my angle, I just called it A. You can call it X. It's just an unknown, so whatever letter. It's all over 360. The next thing I've done is I've just multiplied this through to simplify it. So you know when you're multiplying two numbers and a fraction, all the numerators will be multiplied. So 18 times pi times A. So I've just done 18 times pi times A here. And that's all over 360. Now I want to get A on its own. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 360. Now when I multiply this side by 360, so 25 multiplied by 360, I get 9,000. When I multiply this fraction by 360, right, I'm making it 360 times bigger, but I'm also dividing it by 360. So those multiply and divides, those will essentially cancel out to be 1. So I have 9,000 equals 18 pi A. Now I want to get A on its own, and we know this is 18 times pi times A. So to get A, all I have to do is divide both sides by 18 pi. So I'm going to divide both sides by 18 pi. So 9,000 divided by 18 pi in my calculator is 159.15. And that is my angle. For my second example, we are going to talk about finding the radius. Now we're going to work out the radius of this sector. If you notice here, we're going to be working with the sector area formula because I have been given my sector area is 35 centimeters squared. If it doesn't state that it's the area, how do I know? Well, centimeters squared represents area. So I'm going to take my formula to begin with, which is a fraction multiplied by the area of a circle. And I'm going to substitute in the values. So just like we did on the last example. So let's look at this. My area becomes 35, because 35 centimeters squared is my area, equals pi. Pi stays the same, because we know it's 3.14 and so on, multiplied by my radius squared, so r squared, we've separated it, multiplied by my angle over 360. Well, my angle, I'm given my angle, it's 160 degrees. I'll do the same thing like I did in the last example. I'm going to multiply everything together. So I did pi times r squared times 160, which gave me 160 pi r squared, all over the 360. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 360. I want to get rid of the denominator of the fraction. So 35 times 360 is 12,600. Now I'm going to go, and similar to the last example, I'm going to divide both sides by 160 pi because I want r squared on its own. My goal is to get r squared on its own and eventually just r. So I'm going to divide by 160 pi. When I take 12,600 and divide it by 160 pi, I should get 25.07. Now the very last step, because this is r squared, I want just the radius, so just r. Next thing I'm going to have to do is take the square root of both sides. So when I square root 25.07, I'm going to get my radius is equal to 5.01 centimeters.